Welcome Gida to the stage.
Good evening, everyone. Too good. Dun, 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 dun. Don't you just love that Africa clip? Don't you just love that Africa clip? Good evening. Welcome to ICU UC ME, the November edition. Fantastic. It's love, it's life, and it's laughter. What could be better for a day like this? Bringing to you art, bringing to you our lives, bringing to you poetry, bringing to you music, actors, actresses. Too much fun to be had. This month is something quite different. Over the past 5 months, we are in our 5th edition of ICU UC Me. We've had Being Black. We've had Within Our Uprising. We've also had The Story So Far. We've had Reflections. And here we are, Love, Life, and Laughter. And with that, I would like to introduce to you Diamond Bavell. Let's have a listen. Thank you. Diamond Bavell, Love, Life, and Laughter.
My name is Diamond Bavell. I'm the composer of words, the creator of music. My message to the world, if you decide to use it, is that you are not alone. I express this through music, spoken word, and poetry, writing about the world around me that I see. Love, life, laughter. Happily ever after. Some say red is the color of passion and love. But we sometimes look for love in the strangest places, like in a glove. And it might be something that made us chuckle in the past. But that feeling was one that never lasts. And as we look at love, Love, 4 letters words, where somehow we chop them down to 2, like I'm, me. Maybe we should have turned that M upside down so we could have we. So that we could unite in harmony, especially whilst there were so many people laughing after the likes of you and me and them. But sometimes when we continue to stitch these fabrics of this tapestry, then sometimes we send out mixed signals. Love and laughter, happily ever after. Live your life because life is worth living. Time is something that we continuously are giving. So who are you giving yours to? Let this be your food for thought.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you, Diamond. Wasn't that lovely? Now remember, you can put your reactions. Let's have a look at where you're going to put your reactions in the boxes that are there. Let us know that you're there. Also, there's so much more information to give to you. Let's have a word with Diamond and find out more about him today. Diamond. Now, in concerns to your piece, thank you very, very much. Really taking the title to heart, Love, Life, and Laughter.
Yes.
You're there?
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah, I'm here.
Thank you.
Can you see?
Diamond, tell me a little bit about the Awakening and the School of Awakening that you're involved in.
So with the School of Awakening, we're a school where we look at well-being. So there's, that you have, well, some of you will be aware that there's the mind, the body, the spirit, and there's the emotional body as well. So we're just looking at all of those 4 bodies, and we're looking at ways in which we can improve or be in a position to reach and awaken a more awakened frequency.
We also talked about the alchemy of voices. Explain that a little bit more in concerns to the work that you do. I found that really interesting.
With that that relates also to the term that we're in at the moment. And the term that we're in at the moment, each term has a specific linguistic or a specific language. So if it's the love term, the power term, the abundance term, or the purpose term, which we're in right now, language is sound. And just by looking at the sounds of that, whether the sounds are outside of you, inside of you, it's just about making the world a more wondrous place with alchemy of voices.
Now, without any voices, it reminds me of once going to one of those discos where you have the earphones on and you're stamping your feet. And is that something that the vibration of life, is that what we're dealing with in concerns to that? Is that anything that's familiar, or am I?
With the alchemy of voices, it's more about like having a look at your voice as well as the voices that are around you as well. So if you did use that as an example, the sounds that go in through your earphones might be the sound of, say if you're using that example, it might be like you may be listening to some soca and I might be listening to some R&B, and then we're dancing. If our dance is the communication, we may be dancing at different paces, different speeds, or with a different amount of energy. And sometimes that's what happens with communication, and we may be misunderstanding ourselves, or we may look at each other differently or funny. I'm sure that that's something that a lot of people who are listening right now may have experienced from time to time.
You've got a book out. You're now a published poet. Give us some information about that. We want to know more about you, but today, tell us about that.
Yeah, so the book is a group of authors. So there are 20 of us in total, and one of them is my mentor. So I was doing some public speaking, and from that we got invited to do a book. The book has 20 different stories. My story is based around being a performance or spoken word artist from an impromptu level. And it's just all of us coming together from different areas of expertise, whether you're a model, a trainer, a teacher, a coach, or even if you're working in, say, social media or project management. Each one of the authors with their own rights in their specific area of expertise has come in and given a piece of their story, which even though you connect with someone, you may not have seen without reading the book. And the title of the book is Unstoppable Courage.
Lovely.
And
I do know we are going to have
on my Instagram as well.
Say that again. I interrupted you. I apologize.
So the book is available from Amazon. You can find the link on my Instagram bio. So you can just click the link there and just search for me at Diamond Bavel, and then you'll be able to see that.
Thank you very much. We're going to have Diamond back with us again later. Now, one thing that Diamond's very good at is that it's making up a rhyme or saying a rhyme by just a word. So if there's a word that you'd like him to play upon, to state, or otherwise obviously to do a piece with, put it in our chat, let us know, and we'll be able to let him know further on in the show. So Diamond, I'd like to say thank you very much for now, and we shall be speaking with you and hearing what that word is, and to be able to experience a little bit more of your expertise later on in the show. Thank you very much, Diamond.
Thank you. See you soon.
Most certainly. Now, love, life, and laughter. There's a little bit too much. You know how it's about being ready? Are you ready for your love, your life, and your laughter? I've been thinking of things like the love of life that we explore, the life that just exudes from that, and the roar of laughter that just explodes from the effervescent love that we can have for ourselves. And you've got to have that love for yourself to be able to share it with others. That's what life is about, right? Now, we are going to meet two individuals. They are poet musicians. We're going to be speaking with Sky and OC. Sky and OC, you there for me, please? I'm going to be doing this. Sky. Sky, you there? Hello, Sky. OC.
Hi. Hi, Gida.
Lovely to meet you again.
Indeed. Thank you for having us.
Not at
More
all.
love, more life, more laughter, more unity, rising blessings and gratitude, Zine.
Thank you very, very much. Here we are again, ICU UC ME November. Now, in talking with Sky and OC, and I would like to say that OC means God is with me. What a beautiful word. What a beautiful name to have. OC, thank you. Thank you. With that said, in getting to know Sky and OC, who have just recently collaborated, in fact, they've known each other for many years, but just come together for this particular piece that they've done. In speaking with them, I've learned that they would just meet each other when they did, rattle up a few lines, and then just part and go their separate ways. Being the reason why they got involved with this collaboration, just to raise a vibration within their community, to actually put out the work that we're going to witness in just a short while. But in talking with them, let's find out more about the people themselves. Now, Sky, you have recently finished an album, I believe, and still considering the names of what it may be. Would you share that with us, please?
Yes, so I've recorded my baby and we're mixing it down at the moment. So yeah, the name is going to be and something just came over me, and I shouldn't really reveal the name just yet, actually. But it's a good one, guys. It's a good one, and I'm still considering. I've got a choice between two names, but it's definitely in relation to life at its core.
So I won't say what those are. So obviously you're still in deliberation, but I think what you have thought of is very apt, and I'm sure when it is on release, which will be in due time, it'll be something worth listening to. And I can only encourage you, if you'd like to look at any of our acts that you see this evening, please be in contact with us. ICU UC ME is brought here today. It's Poets and Monologues in collaboration with Gida Live brings you ICU UC ME. Now, OC, you also being part of the collaboration, I'm going to ask you, what's one of the best parts that has come out of this collaboration with the two of you?
It's a good question. I would say just a deeper knowledge through the project and what we were doing, and just getting to know Sky on a more personal tip, and just seeing how we come together and how we made this work was just kind of amazing. The minds of two artists combining and meshing and making it work the way it did.
In some way, you've come together two different genres, putting your words over the beat. So would you say, did it come back organically, or was it difficult? Can you explain a little bit more about that, elaborate a little bit more about that, please, OC?
Yeah, surprisingly, it was very, because like in my head, like I'm kind of aware that artists sometimes collab through a quite planned sort of organized way. But me and Sky, it just seemed to happen so, like as you said, organically, so naturally. It wasn't forced. We come together. We found out that upon the journey, we were getting to, there was like a deeper kind of knowing developing within the project, her to me, me to her. And yeah, it just seemed to happen so naturally. Like there wasn't it weren't forced. It weren't kind of overdone in any sort of way. So I think that really added value to the project, and it really helped us along the way.
In our conversation, there are many descriptions. In our conversation, there were many descriptions that you spoke of when we talked about music and we talked about art. And what do you find more valuable about music, Sky? What is one of your real passions about music? Why is it so important to you to get your art and your work out?
Yeah, well, when we look at what music is, it just on a most basic level, when we deal with sound, we're dealing with everything, light and sound. Sound is one of the most foundation things in creation. And your heartbeat is on a tempo. We walk on a tempo. We all have our own form of rhythm, and music is a thing that it's a form of it's a tool. It's one of the greatest tools we can use, and as an artist, as a poet that uses words, that uses language over a rhythm, the most valuable thing for me is personally, like, it's just like, it's one of my greatest healing tools. It's a way that I can work things out. It's a way that I can express. It's the foundation of why I can smile. Like, literally, if there was no music, imagine where we would be in life. So music is like my life, but on a personal level, but it's a part of every living thing. And so my personal beliefs when it comes to this thing called music is that, yeah, I believe that it should be used, and it's in its purest strength when it is used to communicate a truth, because what else is better than a truth? So words in a rhythm. If you're going to say anything, like, let it be true to yourself, let it, at least. So music to me is very important. It's a tool to express and to communicate and to feel life, to enjoy life. And yes, music is one of the greatest tools in the universe.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, just to let you know, beforehand, while I was dancing to the music, I should have been focusing, but I was obviously just kind of jigging it up a bit too much there. So what we're going to do, we're going to set ourselves up to listen to your piece. Now, what we are going to see in it, and I do want people to listen to the words of your piece. And how did you come about the title of your piece, OC? Which is, if you can introduce it, we're going to see in just a moment. How did you come about the title of the piece that we're going to see?
Okay, so the song that you're about to hear is basically, it's called VMAT 2, and it was introduced to me through Sky. And it's basically, so you can go on Google, you can research it yourself, but it's a very deep topic to get into. So I'll just say to go onto Google and search VMAT 2, and you'll find out what it's about. But within the song, me and Sky were explaining our truths. We're trying to bring it across to the public here in a way where they can grasp it and understand it. But there's very much layered. There's lots of it. So you've got to hear the tune. You've got to go and do the research, basically. Because I don't want to give too much away. But song first, and then go and do the research.
So you hear that? You've got to Google it. VMAT 2. Google it. It is important. My apologies. It is important. What you are saying, I think that these times, we do need some laughter. It's not a funny situation, but it poses on those things which we go through in life. And ICU UC ME wants to pose those things to you through art, through the authors that we've met, through the music that you've listened to, and more importantly, through your involvement. I will be saying more about this later, but let's listen, look, and involve ourselves in VMAT 2. Thank you very much, Sky and OC. We'll be seeing you again. Thank you very much for being a part of ICU UC ME. Thank you. And now for the video.
It's like the crack of the whip, that's why they call him the cracker. Hating on a drop on my lip, trying to mimic my swagger. Carbon has always been and will be the matter. They look in the reaction. Racism is such a distraction. Everybody love their own race. It's a matter of survival. Why we rival? Instinct primal. My nigga just like me, you're tribal. Not even the issue. Hate is the issue. Jealousy is the issue. Unfair is the issue. No love, no care is the issue. Look how the people was fighting for the tissue. And everybody's so artificial. To be heterosexual is it to be we cry justice like boo. Who? But they always gonna hate because I'm a Jew. Never gonna give me the reparation I'm due. And watch the whole economy caving is scared of you. But the planet stays melanating black and blue. And we ain't going nowhere, gonna see it through. We're gonna see it through.
The virus would immunize against this VMAT2 gene, and that would have the effect that you see here, which is it's essentially to turn a fanatic into a normal person.
Yo, see as I ease through the fortress and walk through the orchards of life, see my seeds need water and light till I leave like the trees in the autumn. Proceeding with caution's important. There's weeds at the source of the sight, but see my people were bought at a price through the course of the plight, through the evil and forces of light. But my G never forfeit the fight, cause we fought for our rights, for our freedom. Fortune and stripes, but see the media report what they like, reinforcing the hype. It's all squeeze. Corpses are nice, but my peeps, let's support, let's unite. Let's keep this black corporate, that means that I'm endorsing my type. And if I see another portrait of Christ, all porcelain and white, I don't read from the authors that write. So please let me talk to the mic till I'm just another Negro they feel that they ought to indict.
The virus would immunize against this VMAT2 gene, and that would have the effect that you see here, which is it's essentially to turn a fanatic into a normal person.
Honor them and they honor you. Disrespect and disregard them and they violently treat you. Their arrogance is but skin deep, an assumption that has no foundation in morals or in law.
And that she did it again. Honestly, that girl was somebody. Right, okay. How's it going there? Ready? We are live. That's what it's about. So as you can see, transformation. We all do this from time to time. Transform. Get it right. There are so many things that we can learn within the moment. We have to reflect upon these things and what you may have learned within the moment. As young ones, you know, our lives are different as we grow up, of course. And sometimes we take note of the things that are told to us. There's been wars, there's been troubles. And I'm going to introduce you to someone, and I do want you to remember her name. There will be a time when you will hear her name. There will be a time when you will see her. There will be a time where people will tell you of her. And right now, I would like to introduce you to Carissa Baxter. Good evening, Carissa Baxter. Come on now, Carissa. Remember, put some comments down in there. We want you to be involved. I first met Carissa, it was about 2 years ago, in fact. The last time I saw this lovely young lady, it was this year at the Women's International event, which was held in Southend. It was Eye to Eye and the SECA Association. And they came together in conversation with Professor Dame Elizabeth, and I want to get this pronunciation of this name correct, please. With Professor Dame Elizabeth Aniowu. And Carissa came on stage, and it was just not just her embodiment, but we've got to remember that obviously your first impressions count, but it's more than that. And all this we're going to share. So I'm going to stop. Carissa, good evening again. Carissa, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. I'm so pleased to be speaking with you again.
Oh, thank you.
Over the past few weeks, Carissa, as I've got to know you more, as when I say prepared ourselves for this time, and I'd like to publicly say thank you very much to your family. Thank you very much for the support of your mother and your other siblings who've enabled you to take your time and not just rehearse and just for us to talk and get to know more about the person that you are. Carissa, I was told, and I want everyone to know this, and with permission, you are a poet and you call yourself a poet and you claim yourself to be a poet. Would that be correct?
Yeah, definitely.
Why? Why would that be?
Because like how it all started, like I've talked to you about it. It seems like it was really fate how it all started, because I had never written poems before. I just like randomly did it. So that's how I kind of see it, as fate for me to like be a poet. So yeah, definitely.
And within that first piece that you did, which I believe was about Grenfell, and you continued, one of the things I've learned about you is the responsibility that this young lady takes in the work that she does. And that responsibility to ensure that we as the listeners can enjoy that. Why do you think it's important to have such a responsibility, Carissa?
I definitely think that you're held accountable definitely for what you educate people on. So I feel like as a poet, my words are so powerful to people. And I feel that if I like delve into something and educate myself, I really have the power to like obviously show people and educate people. So I think it's so important.
Thank you very much. Carissa, I also understand that you went to school one day with some placards. Now, ladies and gentlemen, people, kings and queens, princesses, and everybody else out there, this is good and interesting. Please tell us about the placards that you went to school with.
So there was a lot of racist events that happened at my school, and I felt like after getting a lot of like educating myself on lots of stuff that had happened in the past, I felt that like I myself and others were very like held accountable to like be on the right side of history, and definitely like not let this continue. And so I thought it was so important to like do something about what was happening. So I brought placards into my school, and with like lots of things like quotes from Desmond Tutu, Martin Luther King, and Malcolm X that I thought was like so important to like show to others, like people at my school and students, to like say that this is wrong and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yes, yes, most certainly. Yes, you hear that? She brought placards. I remember once going to a demonstration, which my mother brought me to as a child, but more importantly, just the bravery and the courage. So I commend you. And whilst you were talking, I was busy doing this in the background. So I think that's fantastic. And more importantly, yeah, congratulations. It takes courage to put yourself forward. It takes courage to say, yes, I can, yes, I will. And ICU UC ME is about saying that. It's about encouraging you as individuals. Be respectful of yourself and how you put yourself forward. Be ready. Even if you haven't got the sound on, just know that there are those around you who will tell you that they can't hear you. Now, on a serious note, the piece that Chris is going to be sharing with us now is quite poignant. And it's a time when this month of November, people are remembered in different ways. Now, I say that I think I need to clarify. What I'm stating is we have had world wars, and not just the wars that we hear of by someone else's story, but there's always another story. And that story can only be told by us that are here. You have your stories. One of the things I'd like to encourage you to do is to write a diary. Write the story of your life. Be involved in your story. For those that have passed and transitioned in recent months, let's take a moment to reflect upon those. Thank you. That moment may not have been long, but however, I would like to encourage you to reflect upon those in your lives who have passed and transitioned over this time. The piece that Chris is going to share with us, it's heartfelt. And even though she may not know anyone personally that has gone through that experience, it's obviously something that is embodied within her life. So Carissa, I will say at this time, we are going to be hearing another piece from you later. And when you're ready, would you please share your piece with us for today? We are going to hear Black Forgotten Soldiers. Black Forgotten Soldiers by Carissa Baxter. Thank you.
In your 2 minutes of silence, does the face the colour of mine ever pop in your head? a shot black man on all battlefield dead. Because their pictures were never taught, never made the books you read, because the average World War I historian never said 1,800,000 black soldiers participated in World War I. But they seem to forget what they did and the things that they done, because they never got to march in the victory march when we all won. So, dear black forgotten soldiers, your story in history, they never told us about your bravery and boldness, forced to fight for a country that beat and sold us. For years, they tried to mold us, but being bold us, we fought despite the words in the past you told us. Black soldiers were written out of World War I history. Because of their ethnicity, they got no publicity. Like a forgotten delivery. Their presence was like a mystery, but did we get bitter? We never got to march in your victory. On Remembrance Day, no one remembered we fought or were forgotten. Left for years on the ground to rotten, from being forgotten to dying on those very fields you used to pick cotton. We got no grave, we got no coffin. Remembered for what? Remembered for nothing.
Thank you so much, Empress. Thank you. Thank you. Keep doing you. You're beautiful. Yeah, you've got bars, baby. We love that. We love that. Keep doing that. Serious. We love that.
Thank you. That teaches me for not having my sound on. See what I mean? I was saying, thank you very much. And I ditto and reiterate what Sky had said in concerns to just being loved by that and just feeling so empowered. What you've given to so many is very much heartfelt. We're going to go to commercial break now, and remember, we shall be back. So let's have a little something and see what Sisters 3 have to say. Thank you very much. Some of you have asked, how old is our very young Carissa Baxter? Carissa is of the grand age of 14 years. If you would like to be a part of ICU UC ME, think you have all that it takes and are ready, please send your information to us. You can contact us through the information that's there, obviously through Facebook. You can also contact us, Poets and Monologues at gmail.com, at Azawala20@ymail.com. Please remember to donate. We are asking for donations, and thank you very much to all of you who have donated using Ko-fi, that's ko-fi.com/ICU UC ME. Why do you ask for donations? Well, it's about how times have changed, more importantly, and also imagine having such entertainment, seeing such artists, musicians, poets, authors for such a reasonable price. All donations are greatly appreciated for whatever you can afford, whatever's good for your pocket. Cut your cloth accordingly. Now we're going to go on to something different now, and we're going to have a competition. One of two things I should have said earlier, which is ensure that you've got your djembe drum. I, in fact, have some shakers, something I made earlier to accompany our next piece. And we're also going to have a competition. If you would like to win these 3 books, here we have Pan-Africanism, The Battlefront, and we also have African People Abolish the Slave Trade. And here I have Pan-Africanism from Program to Philosophy. So if you'd like to win all of these 3 books, absolutely free, please listen, get your pen and paper ready, and we shall be speaking with none other than Omowale. Omowale. How are you, Omowale?
Warmest greetings to you, Sister Shida. I'm very well, thank you.
Thank you very, very much, Omowale. Thank you for your patience for today.
No patience at all. It's been very, very entertaining. And for me, it's actually a delight to be on your program. And I'm very grateful for the invitation. So it's for me to thank you.
Not at all. Through the conversation that we've had, Omowale, over the recent months and weeks, so to speak, I've learned so much, so learned, and with the books that you've kindly donated for our competition, it seems like, well, I would say quite a big word, Pan-Africanism, P-A-S-C-F. I mean, that's quite a why such a big forum? Why? Tell me why.
Okay, the Pan-African Society Community Forum is an organization that I'm a member of. Actually, I'm founder member of the organization. The organization came into existence in 2007, but it was in existence in a form earlier than that. In a nutshell, it was based, I used to work with university students in a number of universities, and I used to help them to run their African societies or African Caribbean societies. At London South Bank University, in 2004 going into 2005, I helped the students there to create a Pan-African society. Now, to cut a long story short, it became very successful. And the children decided, or I say the children, the young people decided to create a Pan-African Society Community Forum. And the reason for this is brilliant. Many of their parents had never been to university. The children were very often the first people in their families to enter into university education. And so they created the forum to create a space, an education space in the university for people of their parents' generations to be able to come and visit the university, enjoy lectures, etc., and be a part of it. So African history was at the center of all that we were doing, and the young people were mature enough and intelligent enough to use their positions in the university to open the space up to their parents. And that, the forum was the beginning. That was the beginning of the Pan-African Society Community Forum. It came into existence officially in 2007, and it became a company registered at Companies House in 2011. So it's been going for a significant period.
Thank you very much. Now, I know we're not just here to talk about the books that you have authored, and there are 6 in total at the current time, but it's the 3 that we would have, and thank you very much for donating those. We're actually here to talk about also the djembe drum. Now, the djembe drum, I'm excited about this instrument. First, I'd like to know, why does it have that name, djembe drum, which is going to lead into the question, a little bit of its history and concerns to the reason why it is called the call of the kings, or it precedes the coming of the king. Would you share that with us, please?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, the truth is that I don't know the reason why the term djembe is used, but I do know that the term djembe comes from the Mandinka people of West Africa. So if you think of particularly Gambia, Senegal, and that part of West Africa, that's the kind of concentration of the Mandinka people. Now the Mandinkas are, if you look at the history of the djembe, they are very much associated with the origin of the djembe. And if you, those that have taken a look at African history may remember the name Mensa Musa, for instance, who was, the leader, if you like, of one of the larger African empires known as Songhai. Now, when he traveled with drums. And there was a particular drum beat. I'll go to my altar and just take the drum that I keep on my altar. And there was a particular drum beat that would announce his arrival. And so you'd hear, now that drum beat, you notice I did two slightly different drum beats, the second one a little bit faster than the first. So the first one was, and the second one was, now I don't know this for a fact, I'm speculating. African philosophy has at its base nature, that we take everything that we do from our relationship with nature.
Is the relationship?
And if you look, our relationship to nature, yeah. And if you listen carefully, what you have there, I believe, is the sound of a horse. And when the horse is moving a little bit quicker, you have. And so my belief, I don't know this for a fact, it's my speculation. My belief is that, well, I know, for instance, that beat represents the king is coming, or, you know, the chief is coming, or somebody very important is coming. And what would happen is the drummers would be on the hilltops, and one drummer would drum to the next drummer. And so they would announce in advance that the king is coming, or this very important person is coming, so that everybody was aware that this figure of importance was coming in their direction, and they would make the appropriate preparations to receive them. So that's where the notion of the king is coming comes into it. But I actually have a personal story in relation to that particular beat.
Really?
Because in let me see, 2013.
Yes.
My organisation was invited to the European Parliament for a reparations conference. And I had to drum for the libation, the first libation ever held in the European Parliament.
I'm going to ask you, what does libation mean? What does that mean, libation?
Okay, libation, in simplistic terms, is the pouring of water into the earth, and the water must go into the earth.
Thank you.
To honor our ancestors. And at that time, we call our ancestors. I mean, I think it needs more of an explanation than that. If you have time, I'm prepared to say a little bit more on that, but it depends on your schedule.
At this time, I'm definitely listening to the story in concerns to your call that you were brought to for the European involvement.
Yes. So we were at the European Parliament, and from that I was invited to drum at a fashion show in Portugal. I'd never been to Portugal before at that time, though I travelled widely in Europe. And at that fashion show, I was asked to play. I didn't know it was called The King Is Coming at that time. I'd never played that drum beat before at that stage. But it is, if you listen to the music of Cape Verde, it is the rhythm that is inside all Cape Verdean music. It's widely used across the whole of West Africa, but for Cape Verde, this is their rhythm. And so I had to be able to play this instantly to people who were trained to hear it. So I was sweating whilst I was playing this particular rhythm for the first time, because immediately I made a mistake, everybody would know, because it's their national rhythm. And so that's how I came into contact with it, and I had to take a lesson on how to play it before I could actually perform it. And I sweated a lot, but the event went well.
Lovely. Thank you very much. With that, in talking of the drum, you know, I hear that of its importance. I'm also thinking about, imagine 1,000 drums. Imagine 2 drums, 3 drums. I remember, people, if you've got your djembe drum, bring it together, bring your drum, so that you can be involved in the video, which is shortly played. Yes, we've got some drums there. And may I say thank you very much. We've got a few unknown donations in concerns their names, and also direct. Thank you very, very much for your donations. Keep them coming. Keep them. Thank you very, very much. Very much appreciated. So we're talking about the 1,000 drums. Now, 1,000 drums. Imagine 1,000 drums. I'm like, wow, why? I keep asking why.
Yes. I'm like you, Sister Gida. I have never seen 1,000 drums together. And where the idea, well, the idea of 1,000 drums came out of, at one point at least, the funeral of one of our community activists. His name is Dougie Williams, and he was a community activist in the Tottenham area of North London. Right. And at his funeral, you know, a few of us, 4 of us in fact, drummed at that funeral. And you must remember that during the COVID period, numbers of people at funerals were limited. So we had to drum at a distance away from the funeral, in fact, outside the cemetery at one point. Yes. We had to drum outside the house at one point, etc. And the sound of the drum moved people, until one brother by the name of Clive Morrison was so moved that he called for 1,000 drums. He said, you know, 4 drums is not enough. There were 4 of us drumming. He said there should be 1,000 drums. I have to say I didn't take him too seriously at the time, because the drum can generate this kind of energy in people. But my own uncle crossed to meet the ancestors shortly after, and his funeral was a major disappointment. Only 10 people at the time were allowed to the funeral. I was so disgusted.
We have had to. I would say my apologies again. I have to interrupt and come to you with another question and state that here we have one of your posters in concerns to 1,000 drums. I'll bring it a bit closer. If you'd like further information on this particular one, the dates, in fact, are out of date. But if you'd like further information about this, please be in contact with us. The details are there. You can find them. And obviously, for those of you that come through on Facebook, you can get further information in concerns to get in contact with Omawali and the books that we shall be giving away free for those of you who are listening, the information that we've got here. I'm going to ask you a little bit about the drum that you're holding, and that is obviously the djembe drum. We've spoken about the libation and how important it is to ceremonies, especially in concerns to passing and the transition of our loved ones and towards our ancestors. But it's not just the drum. Obviously, there must be certain parts of the drum. I've learned that there are certain parts of the drum. I've learned that there is a male part, which is the skin, There's another part of it. What's the other male part that there is, please?
Let me show you. Here's a drum. I don't know how well that can be seen, but this is a small, or I should say a medium-sized djembe. This is a medium-sized djembe, yeah? And you'll see this, what you refer to as the skin, that's what your hand
That's makes. Right.
Yeah?
Yes.
There is also the wood. If you look very carefully, it's actually made out of wood. Proper djembes are made out of wood. There are imitations made out of fiberglass and plastic, etc. But the proper djembes are made out of wood. There are also the strings that I'm just touching here, which go right around the djembe. And the bit that you cannot see ordinarily is in this, underneath this part here, and also in this part here, there are metal rings. Now I fix drums, I make drums. I sell them as, yeah. And so for that reason, I'm able to show you a ring. You know, this is what the ring would look like if the drum was stripped down. Yeah, you can see that this ring is made for a bigger drum, bigger than the one that we that I have, you know, in my hand. Let me put my ring back onto the altar.
That's true, because my apologies again. You were going to say?
Yeah, now to come to your question, yeah. In order to work out the feminine and masculine aspects of anything, African culture looks to nature.
Yes.
In nature, as the rain falls from the sky, it goes into the earth. Remember, libation falls from the sky, water from the sky into the earth. That's libation. Out of the earth comes life in the form of flora and fauna. Yes. And that flora and fauna sustains life. Animal life lives off of that flora and fauna. Now, the rain is the masculine principle. The earth is the feminine principle. And that becomes clearer when we look at the relationship between women and men.
So we have the male and the female. So as we have the male and let me work at the level of human. So we talked about nature. Let me work now at the level of human. At the level of humans, you have the man. Yes, we know the man. So we have the male and the female part of the drum, and in some respects, I'm politely kind of speeding us up just a little bit here, and at the same time, focus on the part that we have the male and the female part of the drum, and you can't have one without the other, because you can't tap the drum and think that no sound is going to come out. And in that essence, how do we, I understand that as we hold the drum, which we're going to see in the video in just a short while, we're going to see how that is placed. So is there anything else, and I respectfully want to round this up in that sense, that you'd like to state in concerns the djembe drum? And public, I would like to say that we are going to have Omawali, drum doctor, with us again in December. That's a big secret, actually, so don't tell nobody. Don't tell him that anybody that's going to be with us in December, but he shall be. Is there anything you'd like to round up in concerns to djembe drum? Please, Omawali.
I would just round up just by completing the male-female aspects. That the male brings special water. The woman who receives the water gives life. Out of the woman comes life. So we see now clearly what the male and female aspects are. And when we translate that to the drum, as I touch it, I'm giving life to sound. Life comes from the skin. The skin is masculine. The drum, if you look at it carefully, shaped like a womb, the sound comes out of the wood. The wood is feminine. The strings, I won't go into detail, but the strings are masculine, and the rings, the metal rings, are feminine. And the one thing that I'll just point out to conclude is that if you examine these carefully, the thing that gives way first are the masculine elements. The skin is the first thing to burst usually. The string is more likely to break occasionally. But the wood is feminine. It's stronger.
Yes, that's the stronger. But I didn't hear that quite clearly. Can you say that again? What's the strongest part?
The strongest part of the metal rings. Yeah, the wood and the metal rings are both feminine. Translate that into human beings. We notice that women generally live longer than men. Yeah, women have that greater duration than men on earth. This is just a fact. In African culture, we look honestly at nature. Yeah. So this is not to compete one gender against the other or one sex against the other. It's just the honest truth of looking at nature, which is what we do in African culture. I'm going to stop there because I can see time.
The truth is, Omawale, I'd love to talk, and there's so much information. This is what I'm saying, people, from the point of view of the wealth of information that one individual, and from the people that you've spoken to, I'd love to have spoken most certainly to all of our artists for a longer period of time. But on this occasion, this is one of the reasons why we shall be having Omawale back with us in December. And I'd like to say thank you very much. You'll be back later because we've got our competition. And now what we're going to do, we're going to listen to a little bit more information about the djembe drum. So thank you very much, Omawale, and let's hear what he has to say. And his videos can be found on YouTube.
And, welcome
thank you very much.
Ukombozi PASCF YouTube channel.
Roll video.
It's a joint initiative between two organizations, that is Ukombozi and the Pan-African Society Community Forum. In this short video, what we'll be doing is the unity beat, actually. The Ukombozi drummers are going to have a unity beat when they work together, and one of the ways for us to enhance that during this time is just to well, put the beat on YouTube and share it. But before we do that, let me just do a little introduction. So that was just a little introduction. And what we're going to do is we're just going to illustrate what I'm going to call the unity beat. Now the unity beat, without even touching the drum, is this sequence. So you can hear the sequence. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 4 is the bass. So the rest is the treble or the tone, and 4 is the bass. So 1, 2, 3, 4 translate onto the drum as 1, 2, 3, 4. The bass is the middle. So the bass is the middle, the tone is the outside. And it's the 4, remember, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tone bass, tone bass. Tone bass, tone bass, tone bass, that we synchronize the bass. When we synchronize that bass, when everybody touches the bass at the same time, we'll have synchronicity. We'll be synchronized. From there, people who want to do more on the drum will be able to do more. But this bass is nice and simple. The 1, 2, 3, 4 is nice and simple, and it means that people who don't have a lot of experience in drumming can join in and feel and be, in fact, not just feel, but be a part of the rhythm that's going on. It means that those that bring their shakers can join in. They know the way that the rhythm flows. And it also means that people can clap and be a part of the sequence. So just remember, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to be our unity beat. We're going to ask everybody to practice this at home. Get your drum out.
Wow, wow, wow. I've had my shaker going. Omawali's been banging his drum. I see Sky there's been with her guitar and she's been dancing about. We're trying to really focus today. We have been able to at certain times, but nonetheless, there's been a lot going on, focus. There's been a lot going on in and around what we're doing. So again, thank you again for your donations. Thank you very much for all your messages. We're trying to keep up as much as possible. Our team is small, and if you'd like to be a part of our team, be in contact, let us know. I believe I've answered most of the questions that have come through. Yes, we are still accepting donations. Yes, I am next going to tell you about the competition, so that's going to be next. So you have your pens and papers ready. These are the questions for the competition. If you'd like to receive all of these 3 books, which is Pan-Africanism, the Battlefront. We also have Pan-Africanism, the Program to Philosophy. And we also have African People Abolish the Slave Trade. Now, this is a good read. This is a good read. I like this one. I started with this one first because I can't read 3 at a time. So that's how it goes there. With that, let me tell you, the telephone number is 07442 838570. 07442 838570. Question number 1. Ukombozi. What does that mean? Liberation, motivation, or communication? Liberation, motivation, or communication? PASCF. What does the PA stand for? What does the PA stand for in PASCF? There are 2 parts of the drum which are female. What are those 2 parts of the drum? No, my apologies. There are 2 parts of the drum which are female. What is one of those 2 parts of the drum which is female? Question number 4. Omawali, otherwise known as, what is his nickname? What is the other name that Omawali is otherwise known as? And question number 5, name one of the male parts of the drum. If you would name one of the male parts of the drum. These questions will be put up again, but I do hope you have them, and if you get through to us as soon as possible, we'll be able to name the winner and we'll be able to get the books to you. Please give us your name and call that number. It is 07442 838570. we're going to have ourselves a quick commercial break. With a little bit of time, we'll be able to have Carissa back with us and also Diamond. Before we have our great conversation with Chris and Paige, you've just got to listen to Chris and Paige. Don't go anywhere. Go and get yourself a cup of tea. Come back quick. Back in just a moment. Thank you very much.
All right, beautiful souls, sisters
Go
from
ahead.
here. I'm Miranda.
Chris and
I'm
Paige.
Miranda,
No.
and we're here to
Commercial.
show you our beautiful homemade product.
Commercial.
What we're going to start with? Today we're going to start with beautiful turmeric soap. Tantalizing turmeric. Tantalizing. Beautiful golden bar. It's just beautiful. This is our bestseller. We make a lot of this. Yes. This is great for aging, acne, wrinkles, and complexion. Yeah. And it smooths your complexion, even tones it out without bleaching. Beautiful, soft skin. All our bars are £5 each, by the way, beautiful people. Just to let you know. What we're going to start with next. Moringa. Mighty moringa. Yes. Pop. This bar is beautiful. Yes. It is filled with such the beautiful best local ingredients, alright? We've got moringa powder, moringa leaf, and moringa oil. And it's also mixed with beautiful shea butter from Ghana. Look at that oil. Look at that. My fingers are shiny. Ooh. Love it. It's great for skin conditions like eczema, psoriasis, dry skin, wrinkles, complexions, even wounds. It helps really well. Heals up the skin nicely. £5. Yes. Oh, love it. Beautiful. And we also have our beautiful gift box available. Here it is. Look at this. Lovely gift box available. These are available now, beautiful people, just in time for Christmas. Make a beautiful gift. Yes. For a man or a woman, because our men do love our moringa soaps too. Yes. So don't be shy. Innit? These are £15 each. And you can DM us on Instagram at Sisters Free Southwest 9. And also contact us on Facebook at Sisters Free Events. Look forward to seeing you, beautiful people. Peace, love and light.
Here we go, and we're back. I want to thank you for your patience. I know you're still there. I know you're still with us, and thank you very much. We're going to go straight over to Carissa. I believe Carissa is still there with us, our dears. Thank you very much, Carissa. Carissa, there we go. Carissa's going to do one more piece with us, and this piece is called Windrush. In your time, Carissa. Thank you very much. Let's listen to Carissa Baxter.
Dear Windrush generation, this is my response. And when you spat upon my face, it was because of my colour, because of my race. I wish today I could say that's not the case. But recently, we had the Windrush scandal, and that was another war we had to face. But let me slow down the pace and take you back to when we first came to this place. After slavery, we thought we were free, but we came here and there was no equality. Well, I know it's not hard to see. I'm black, but to you, you thought something was wrong with me. The colour of my skin, you said that wasn't right to be. But I'm here to say we rise. The proof's here, just look at me. We thought segregation was over, so why were you still segregating? You asked for us to come, so why were you racially hating? You asked for us to help out with jobs, but moaned at the jobs you were taking. We wanted to start a new life. It was hard when you were so degrading. The Empire Windrush arrived at Tilbury on the 22nd of June, 1948, filled with West Indian immigrants ready to relocate. But these West Indian immigrants had never received so much hate. But little did they know, 70 years later, more hate was to await. At a later date, deportation threatens would be their children's fate. Windrush children retain a right to live here today. but it wasn't always that way. You never gave them legal documents on their first day, so when you asked them, what were they meant to do or say? You took their jobs and housing away because the documents you wanted, they couldn't display. But let me say, it took us over 70 years to get the equality that we have today. So this is a cheers to all our ancestors that never got to live life this way. Thank you.
Thank you. Blah, 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 blah. Thank you very much, Carissa Baxter. Thank you very much. I wish you so much for the future, and I know that we shall be having you with us again in the very near future. And thank you very much to your family and everyone else that's been involved in you being a part of our show for today. November, ICU UC ME, love, life, and laughter. We do have a word for you, Diamond. Diamond, you there with us? And that word is laughter.
Hello, yes, I'm here.
Are you ready?
Laughter. Yeah, I'm ready.
Diamond is going to do a piece because it's very impromptu.
This life where sometimes we feel up or down, or maybe a little bit around, but as we look at L for love, A for abundance, U for unity or uniqueness, as well as G for greatness, H for hope, E for exquisite, T for tantalizing and tenacious, and R for responsibility. Because with responsibility, great power is bestowed. Or was it the other way around? With great power comes great responsibility, because there were so many things that we could do as we unite and maybe set ourselves free, because things aren't always what they're supposed to be, or at least that's what they tell us. But we sometimes have to see the truth, remove the wool from our eyes, and maybe lace up boots in a different way so that we could display ourselves on a journey. Does the shoe fit? Maybe now is the time that we can see that we are able to exist, but as we persist in this true matter, maybe we could see what life would be like if we just shattered that glass, as we broke the ceiling, and maybe allowed ourselves to continue on the next task, because time was of the essence. There were many things that allowed us to feel so blessing, but blessings of laughter were the things that allowed our fires to shine brighter as we looked for the lighter side of life, because there was so much to weigh us down to the ground. And as we built our dreams from that place to where we are today, I hope each and every one of us can embrace everything that we have to say. Shout from the roofs that I love myself and I am me, with the unstoppable courage of people more than 20. Not just those who wrote the book, but those who took a chance to look and say, I can relate to another life in which I am able to create. But if we were taking a moment and maybe we could see ourselves a little straighter, as we straighten up ourselves and adjust ourselves for something that is greater, as we walk on this journey of life, allowing ourselves to be packed with those tools, those skills, and everything else that would send us well into the night, allowing ourselves to see the light, packing that sling and attaching them with stones, including hope and courage and faith, so that you could slay your Goliath without a trace. A little bit of an excerpt from that book. Now it's time for us to look deep inside to another page. Thank you for this time on the stage.
Thank you. Wow, that was quite something off the hook. Thank you very much, Diamond. Now, with everybody, if we can just get a quick focus, because we're going to do a quick wave. So everybody's in the green room. I know we've got Paige, who's all the way on holiday. Actually, that's too much information. Who's all the way wherever she is. I'm sorry. So for all you out there, just to let you know they're all there, let's have a quick wave. Can we all be seen? Da-da-da. That includes you up there in the corner. We could all do a little, you know that little, who remember the Partridge Family when they used to do kind of like this and then they go up like that? And, you know. Anyway, that's how that went. So I want to say thank you very much. We're not saying goodbye yet, but thank you. I know that some of our green room participants do have other things that have to be done at this time. So thank you very much. And what we're going to do now is we're going to have some time with the one and onlys, Chris Samuels and Paige Natalie. Thank you very much. Hey. Oh, wow. I've waited for this time. If you don't know, you need to know. Let me tell you people, if you don't know. Now, we've got a ream of questions. If you've been away and come back, I know we've got to go over our competition. It's not forgotten, but this is quite important. This is how we're going to run it. We're going to speak to Chris and Paige. We're going to have our competition details, and then we're going to come back and wrap it up. So please just get the other teeth. There we go. So please just give us a short while. And with that said, Chris and Paige, thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time. Chris, you there?
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. I know you're both very, very, very busy.
Yeah, getting ready to film a podcast, but yeah, no, it's good. It's good to that you invited us to your show, and really, really, really happy to be here. So
we've been managing things in and out in concerted timetables over the past month and so forth. Now, with that said, I think it only leaves one thing to do. Let's roll a trailer and then we'll go from there. So, Chris and Paige, let's have a look at this. Have a look at this.
For me, A's really, really sweet like that, aren't you, babe?
I didn't buy them flowers.
But you're really sweet like that, aren't you, babe?
Yeah, but I didn't buy the flowers.
You didn't buy the flowers.
I didn't.
You're doing it again.
But
first of all with the ties and now with the flowers. Why can't you just say you bought them?
I don't want to lie. I don't want to lie.
Well, they don't know if you're lying or not.
Yeah, but I didn't buy the flowers.
Right, stop the camera. I'm not filming no more. Why did you have to say that? You're embarrassing me.
She said, stop the camera. Stop the camera.
You're embarrassing
I'm not embarrassing
me.
you. I don't know where the flowers came from.
It doesn't matter. Why can't you just say that you want them for me?
I don't know where the flowers
Why can't you just let people think that I've got a decent guy for once?
Yeah, I've got a decent guy.
Like, I bought you the C cushion for Chris, and then you go and buy me a J because that's the only letter they had left. My name's Paige. Who's J?
You're my Juliet.
You're gonna die like Romeo soon about Juliet. I ain't doing this. I can't film no more.
Touch your hands off, man. Just a little privacy. Babe.
Shida, your mic, you're mute.
That's not funny.
That's what happens.
Very true. See, I'm trying to change it up. Anyway, nonetheless, we want to ask you so much questions about Chris and Paige. The fact that the two of you are not a couple, but when did it become apparent that you can actually make this sitcom, that you can actually put this out there? When did that become apparent?
Chris, answer that one.
I mean, I've always been wanting to write something that was, that could relate to couples, and I've been writing a lot of things, and I've worked on different projects in the past, and some things have not come to fruition. But this one just felt right to go with, and I think the moment that I met Paige and she auditioned for the part. She's an absolute natural. She just blew that audition out of the water. So yeah, I think we just worked from there. I think we got on, and yeah, it just seemed like a natural chemistry on screen.
Within this, I ask you this, Paige, is Chris ever going to get it right?
I'd like him to. I think it would be good if there was a scenario where you kind of saw him listening to what I was saying and being like women say, you have to teach men. So hopefully,
what do you say?
Women have to teach yous men.
I can't hear.
Start already.
It starts already. But I think that would be interesting to go where he starts to, because you'll see developments in different trailers and different episodes as they grow, is how he starts to realise how he can potentially or does lose me. So it will be good to see a turnaround in him showing that the trying, the effort, and becoming not him changing for me, because it's not about men changing for a woman, but becoming the person that I generally thought I fell in love with, because men seem to lack that effort sometimes. So hopefully he will start to show what I give, I will receive.
Within so much that we do see, and there's some classic one-liners, and I won't give them away, but one of the best ones that you do say, especially when the mother-in-law, now that relationship that many of us or some of us have had with the mother-in-law, is there a love there underlined all of that? Paige?
I can't say because I don't want to spoil anything, but I think I quite liked that in particular, the dynamics of those two characters, because I think, like you say, in real life it's not all bunny rabbits and rainbows, and the girlfriend doesn't always get on with the partner's mother and things like that, and especially when you include things like cultural aspects and just different upbringings of two different people. I think it'd be nice if they started to finally get along. There is an episode, not to give too much away, where they do kind of come together and agree on something and go against Chris, and we partner up together. But it'll be nice to obviously again see that dynamic as things progress in further episodes, that maybe we can build our own relationship. But there is an underlying love there, because she knows that Chris is hopeless without Paige at the end of the day.
Most certainly. Now I do have another question. Let's see if we can get another one of those trailers in. So let's go with another one.
You do not have my son's surname as yet, all right? And so until you do that, you will.
Baby, you best pipe up and say something.
You will. Pipe up and say what?
Mum, you best say something.
Pipe up and say what?
Nothing, Mum.
You see when you
better tell this mature woman,
and you better tell this cool girl to go sit down, because me not come to your cross London, right?
Come up in my house, giving me
clear cross London, and this cool girl want to come and talk to me any, oh she wants to. Please do not allow me to take off my glasses, because listen.
Stay there. Mum. Babe.
No, don't talk to me.
Open the door.
You've ruined my birthday. I get one birthday each year.
Okay, now I have watched that piece, I must say, a few times for research. My favourite line is, "You've ruined my birthday." And how many birthdays is it that she gets once a year? I just think it's just a classic. Ladies and gentlemen, it's just like, you know, when you just got to watch something, it's something that I believe as relationships, it changes. I'm going to ask about the feedback that you've received, Chris, in concern to this. And let me just say, public, you can find Chris and Paige. It's on YouTube. It's season 1. What's season 1? Because season 2 is on its way. So, Chris, question to you. What's you know, about this birthday bit? I mean, could you try harder? I mean, what's, you know, how many birthdays did you have a year?
All right. So obviously, Chris is not actually me. So it's not actually how I act in real life. But when I do,
I had enough notice now.
When I do talk about Chris, I kind of talk about him in the third person, and he's just, I think he's at that level where obviously there's guys that there's an age where we all mature, and guys don't mature to a very late age. Probably some guys don't even mature at all. Sometimes you think you're mature because you're in a relationship, or you know, you might have kids, but you're not matured yet. But I think he's at that level where he's still got a lot of growing to do. He's got a lot of he probably doesn't even know himself yet at this moment in time. And he needs to understand that he's got a woman that he could very lose at any second with everything that he does, that he seems to do. So yeah, he's got to get it right. And clearly, from what you've heard, he's not getting it right. So,
but he's working at it. Now, it is with quite a bit of disappointment to say that we are going to have to wrap our show up here very soon. I'd like to thank you all for your patience. But before we do, I keep saying I haven't got a poem for that. But what I will say is, let's have a look at another trailer, eh? One more trailer before we say goodbye for now, and then we will wrap it up. Let's go for one more, please.
Yeah. Hold on, bro. Yo. So long.
Oh my God!
Yo, break this up, man. What is this, man? What is this? What is this?
Babe, this is Ryan, this is Chris.
Why's his shirt off? Why's your shirt off, fam? Get in here. Yo, no cameras on this one, man.
Ryan, my ex.
Ryan from where? Now, in consent, I call him T-shirt. That's what I call him, T-shirt. And the questions that I've asked and the reason why I've had to obviously look at it for research, because it's very important to know who the characters are. On a serious note, we shall be having a longer edition, I do hope so, of Chris and Paige, where we can really speak to the characters and you can ask the questions that you'd like to know in concerns to Chris and Paige and maybe their development. There are a lot of real reality TV shows at this current time and how it affects us. But seeing something like this, a reflection of my hue, a reflection like this, and it's funny. And more importantly, 3 times I'm saying it, is something that is of today. Everything's a now. You know, something might have been done many, many years ago or many months ago, but it all comes to fruition. So don't ever think that something that you've done some time ago is not relevant. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can hear my phone going, and that's the bell that's going right now to the time that we must end. Next month, we shall be celebrating Kwanzaa, introducing you to Kwanzaa. It is for me to say thank you to all our guests, especially to Chris and Paige. Paige, you've come to us at this time. I know that you're on a different time frame from where we are right now. I'm very, very grateful. I know that we are cutting ourselves short. Don't forget to continue to be a part of our show by donating. Also, you can get in contact with us through poetsandmonologues@gmail.com, and you can also get in contact with us at azawala20@ymail.com. Continue to donate at kofi.com ICU UC ME. That's right. Let me get those other teeth back. Okay, here we are. Please, if you'd like further information concerns the competition, those credits shall be rolling in just a moment. So let's roll those credits now in concerns the competition. The competition shall be open until the 7th of December. I repeat, the 7th of December. So if you can please, let's roll our credits for the competition. And I'd like to say thank you very much to Chris and Paige. Chris and Paige, I know we've cut it short. Thank you so, so much. Public, please support them. They're doing fantastic work. There's so much more to say. We shall be bringing you a special, because we've got 2 specials next year, most certainly with Chris and Paige. Have a great time. You can get Chris on his podcast, find out more what they've got to say. Thank you very much to Diamond. Ryan, thank you very much to Carissa. Obviously, the Sisters 3 for being a part. Thank you very much to Omawali. If you'd like those books, and I'm going on, I'm talking faster, I digress and I stop. Roll the credits. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thanks, Paige.
Thanks, Chris.
See you later.
Bye, guys.